Southern African rock python, a rather feisty one at the moment. It's quite a small one. Just wants to bite me. But the interesting is about the African rock python. There you are. Let's grab this one. Come on. Right, the interesting thing about the African rock python is that there are two species, or rather subspecies, in Africa. This one is of the genus and species Python natalensis, and the way it's distinguished from the python that comes from northern Africa is one of the visual cues is that the top of the head, if you can see it, is covered in scales, where the northern African python, which is Python sabai, the head is covered in shields. That's the one of the distinguishing features. The southern African rock pythons that we find here and all the way down to the south tend to be smaller than the northern African version, and although this one itself is a pretty small one, it's very young, obviously doesn't like being intimidated by me. Alright, I'll leave you alone soon. Okay. But if you can see this from where you are, it's got the most beautiful coloring and patterning, and as many people already know, each pattern of a snake like this is like a fingerprint. It's very unique to this particular individual. Although the basic pattern remains the same, as well as the coloring across all the southern African rock pythons. One of the unique features about this snake is that they're a nighttime snake normally. They hunt in pitch darkness, and they have a super sense, which is quite brilliant. Come on, come on. Which is quite brilliant. Come on, stay there. Which is quite brilliant, and that is along the lips here at the top. It has heat-seeking, if you like, heat-seeking scales. It is able to pick up minute differences in temperature in pitch darkness, which basically means that this snake is able to see the warm-blooded prey that it normally eats, whether it be rabbits or francolins or guinea fowls or things like that, rats, mice, and when they get bigger they'll also go for things like small antelope and wild pigs and things, is that they are able to see the heat signature in pitch darkness while they're hunting. So if you or I were walking in pitch darkness through the bush, this snake would see us, in inverted commas, long before you would see it. They have 100 to 150 very sharp recurved teeth, so if one of them bites you, hence me wearing the gloves, even though it's a non-venomous snake, if one of these were to bite me, it could create quite a nasty wound. And their mouths are full of bacteria and things, so the wound would quite possibly become septic or become infected if it wasn't properly disinfected soon after the wound was made. And you can imagine with a bigger one like this, it would cause quite a nasty wound that would probably need suturing and things like that. But it's quite an impressive snake as snakes go. There's other evidence that these snakes show by little tooth-like vestules here at the cloaca, and under X-ray the snake has the remains of a pelvic girdle, which is evidence that once upon a time, whether you choose to believe in creation or whether you choose to believe in evolution, once upon a time there's evidence here that shows that these snakes had legs. They are of the most primitive form of snakes. But this little one is a beautiful specimen. And I'll let it go on its way now. I'm sure it feels rather exposed out here, so I'm going to put it in the long grass over there. Come, bud. Come on. Come on. Nearly got my arm there. There you are, bud. There you are. Go on. Go on. Ooh, doesn't want to. Okay, I'm going to leave you alone now. Thank you. It's quite well camouflaged against the long grass. Bye-bye.